তারপর আজকের এই লেসন আপনি স্টার্ট করুন।
নিশ্চয়ই। ক্লাস 11 এবং ক্লাস 12 স্টুডেন্টস, অল মাই ডিয়ার স্টুডেন্টস, তোমাদের সবাইকে বলছি অধৈর্য হইও না, পেশেন্স নষ্ট করো না। আমরা এই ফেজটা কাটিয়ে উঠবো, আমরা পজিটিভ থিঙ্কিং করি, কেন নেগেটিভিটি আনবো। আমরা এই ফেজটা খুব দ্রুত কাটিয়ে উঠবো সবাই মিলে যদি একত্রে আমরা লড়াইয়ে নামি। আর তারপরে তোমাদের পরীক্ষা বোধহয় এখন আরও অনেক ভালো হবে, তাই না? এখন তো কতবার রিভিশন করে ফেলছো, তোমাদের যেই 3টে কিংবা 2টো পেপার আছে,
টাইম পেয়ে গেছে তারা রিভিশন করার, প্রিপারেশনের জন্য।
প্রস্তুতি নাও, খুব ভালো হবে। অল দ্য বেস্ট।
ক্লাস 11 এর কি পড়াবেন
আজকে? ক্লাস 11 যেহেতু মাধ্যমিকের মানে একদম পরেই শুরু হয়নি ক্লাস, আমি একদম প্রথম ওদের যে পোয়েমটা আছে সিলেবাসে, উইলিয়াম ওয়ার্ডসওয়ার্থ কম্পোজড আপন ওয়েস্টমিনস্টার ব্রিজ, এই পোয়েমটা পড়াচ্ছি। আচ্ছা,
আমি একবার একটু দর্শকদের উদ্দেশ্যে এবং পড়ুয়াদের উদ্দেশ্যে জানিয়ে রাখবো, ম্যাম পোয়েমটি পড়বেন এবং তোমাদের যতটা সম্ভব বোঝানোর চেষ্টা করবেন, পাশাপাশি তোমরাও বোঝার চেষ্টা করো এবং কোথাও সমস্যা থাকলে নোট করো যখন ম্যাম পড়বেন বা বোঝাবেন। এবং আফটার দ্যাট, অর্থাৎ তারপরে তোমরা ফোন করো এবং ফোন করে তোমাদের কোনো কোয়ারিজ থাকলে সরাসরি ম্যামের কাছ থেকে জানতে পারবে।
শুরু করি। The poem that we are going to study today is Composed Upon Westminster Bridge by William Wordsworth. Good evening, children. Good evening, my students of class 11. Welcome to this new classroom. And today we are going to start with the first poem that you have in your syllabus. And this is a poem of a new flavor, a new essence. Because William Wordsworth, you read his poems, The Daffodils, in your earlier days, or you may have heard about him before. He is a romantic poet. He talks about Mother Nature. But in this poem, he will not talk about Mother Nature. He will talk about the city of London, upon Westminster Bridge. From the title, you can understand that this is the name of a bridge. And this bridge stands upon the famous river Thames. You have all heard about the river Thames. This bridge is upon the river Thames. Why does he compose this poem? What is the background of the poem? In class 11, let me tell you, my dear students, all the poems, you have to learn them with a lot of detail. Those Madhyamik days are over now. You are now going to enjoy the flavor of English literature. So, when you learn a poem, you should know in what condition was the poet forced or enjoyed, in what condition did he enjoy writing the poem. Today we are going to talk about William Wordsworth. What happened was, I'll go to his own biography. What happened was, William Wordsworth was going to France, and to go to France he had to cross the English Channel from Dover. Dover is the name of an English port. So early in the morning he set out with his sister, Dorothy Wordsworth, and both of them were going on a stagecoach. What is a stagecoach, children? It is a horse-drawn carriage. They both were going on the horse-drawn carriage, and as they came to the bridge, as they were mounting, climbing the bridge, they enjoyed the beauty all around. They not only enjoyed, but William Wordsworth was filled with surprise, with wonder at the beauty of London at the early hours of the morning. Their journey started between 5:30 and 6 in the morning. You can imagine how nature is at that time. Nature is absolutely unpolluted, clear, fresh, beautiful. At that time, Wordsworth and Dorothy, they were crossing the bridge and they both stopped there. Why? Because the beauty attracted them so much that they could not move further. They stopped upon the bridge and looked all around. Thus, this composition, thus this poem begins. Okay, let us begin this poem, and let me tell you about another thing. This poem is a 14-lined poem. Okay, this 14-lined poem is called as a sonnet. There are two types of sonnet, Shakespearean and Italian or Petrarchan sonnet. This is a Petrarchan sonnet. And what is the speciality of a Petrarchan sonnet? It has two parts. The first 8 lines are called as the octave, O-C-T-A-V-E, octave. The next 6 lines are called as the sestet, S-E-S-T-E-T. Now we are going to go through the octave of the poem, and we are going to find that he is describing the beauty of dawn, the beauty of early morning in the city of London. Let me go into the poem. Earth has not anything to show more fair. Dull would he be of soul who could pass by a sight so touching in its majesty. What do the 2 lines say? Earth has not anything to show more fair. The word fair here means beautiful. There is nothing that can be more beautiful on the earth. This is the personal reaction. Let me tell you, this is the personal reaction of William Wordsworth. Nothing can be more beautiful upon this earth on that day. And then he says, dull would he be of soul who could pass by. A passerby would be quite dull if he doesn't enjoy the beautiful sight. So he would be quite unfortunate, he would be quite dull if he doesn't enjoy such a beautiful sight. Dull would he be who could pass by a sight so touching in its majesty. What does the word touching here mean? The word touching here means so attractive, so very emotional. So this sight, if it is not appreciated, a person would be very dull by his heart. Let's go into the next line. This city now doth like a garment wear, the beauty of the morning silent bear. This city, which city? London. This city now doth like a garment wear. London is now being personified. In your Madhyamik days, class 11, you have already come across personifications, alliteration. Let me again revise. What is a personification? A personification is a poetic ornament. We call it as a figure of speech that compares an object or a non-living thing with a person. Here, what is the comparison? This city now doth like a garment wear. The word doth is unknown to you, class 11. The word doth is not used nowadays. It is an old English word and it means does. This city now doth like a garment wear. The city is imagined to wear a garment. The city is imagined to be a lady who is beautifying herself in a garment. And what is the garment? The next line, the beauty of the morning. The beauty of the morning is the garment for the city. And next, Wordsworth very beautifully describes the beauty in 2 words, silent and bare. Why silent? Early in the morning, the atmosphere all around, the ambience all around is absolutely silent, quiet, peaceful, tranquil. I'm using a new word, class 11. The word is tranquil. You are growing up, so please learn new words. Tranquil, Q-U-I-L. The word tranquil means calm or peaceful. So, the city was tranquil, silent, and it was bare, B-A-R-E. What is the meaning of this word bare in your books? The word bare means empty, naked. What is the city naked of? The city is naked of all the industrial busyness, the hustle and the bustle, the people moving all around. The entire city is now uncontaminated. It is bare of any pollution. It is bare of any smoke. So, the city looks beautiful in the morning. The beauty of the morning, silent, bare. Next line, he goes on watching the banks of the river. And what does he see? He sees ships, towers, domes, theatres and temples lie, open unto the fields and to the sky, all glittering in the smokeless air, all bright and glittering in the smokeless air. Such a nice romantic way of describing the city of London. What does Wordsworth say? He says, he looks at the river Thames and he says, the ships can be seen. And he looks on the two banks of the river and what does he see? He sees the towers, the domes, the theatres. He sees the skyrise monuments. He sees the dome. You know what a dome is, children? A dome is a semicircular structure. And here, the dome here is actually the dome of St. Paul's Cathedral that stands on the bank of the river Thames. He sees the dome of the cathedral from the Westminster Bridge. Then he sees the theatre. Which theatre is this? This is the amphitheatre, A-M-P-H-I theatre. Amphitheatre is a very, very famous theatre where the Shakespearean plays used to be performed. Okay, so he sees the theatre and temples. Temples here refer to the little churches, the little chapels. They all lie where? Open. What does the word open here mean? Clear of vision. Visibility is so clear because the entire atmosphere is unpolluted. So everything can be seen clearly. Open unto the fields and to the sky, all bright and glittering in the smokeless air. The word smokeless gives you the clue to what Shakespeare was enjoying, the freshness, the purity of early morning. Here, the first 8 lines are over. The octave, I told you, is over. Now we go on to the sestet, the next 6 lines of the sonnet. In the next 6 lines, we are going to see that the poet will talk about his own feeling, how he reacted to this beauty. Let us look at the text. Never did sun more beautifully steep in his first splendor, valley, rock, or hill. What is the meaning of these 2 sentences? Never did sun more beautifully steep. Again, the poet is explaining something in an exaggerated manner. He says, the sun has never ever slanted upon the village, upon nature, upon the valleys, rocks and the mountains in such a beautiful manner as it did today upon the city of London. This is an exaggeration. This is an extended way of explaining, and in English literature, in English poetry, we call it as a hyperbole. The first line was a hyperbole, H-Y, P-E-R-B-O-L-E. What is the meaning of a hyperbole? An exaggeration, an extended way of saying something, explaining something. Now, never did sun more beautifully steep in his first splendor. What is the meaning of the word splendor? The word splendor means glory, G-L-O-R-Y, marvel, M-A-R-V-E-L. So the sun is so marvelous this morning, so splendid this morning. In his first splendor, valley, rock or hill. Ne'er saw I, never felt a calm so deep. This is the point where the poem goes to its topmost level, to the peak. We call it as the climax of the poem. What is the climax of the poem? The poet says, I never saw, I never felt what? A calm. What kind of a calm? A deep calm, a profound calm. He was feeling the peace, the tranquility, the calmness in his heart. So he says, this experience made me feel something that I never experienced before. It is the sense of absolute calmness. So he says, ne'er saw I. Children, the word ne'er, which is used in your text, it is actually the poetic shortening of never. So, ne'er saw I, never felt, never felt a calm so deep. Again, we find another poetic feature, repetitions of never, never, never. There are three never being repeated consecutively. In English poetry, this repetition also is given a name. The figure of speech here in the repetition is called as anaphora, A-N-A-P-H-O-R-A, anaphora. So here he says that he never experienced such a calm in his life. Now he looks at the river. What does he say? The river glideth at his own sweet will. The river Thames glides. It is again an old English word for glide. G-L-I-D-E. What is the meaning of the word glide? Glide means to flow gently. We use it with the flow of water or any liquid. So the river glides. The river, how does it glide? At his own sweet will. The river here, children, is being personified. It is a case of personification again. So the river is moving on his own free will. The word will means desire. If you move freely, you have all the independence of doing anything. Early in the morning, the river is so very happy because it can move freely. There is no congestion of traffic over the river Thames, no crowd. So the river can glide on its own free will. And the last two lines, dear God, the very houses seem asleep, and all that mighty heart is lying still. Dear God, this is an address to God. This again in English poetry is called as an apostrophe, A-P-O-S-T-R-O-P-H-E. This is again another literary figure of speech. It is called as an apostrophe. So he is apostrophizing God, he is addressing God, and what does he say? The very houses seem asleep. Even the houses are personified. The houses seem to be sleeping because the morning activities have not yet begun. So the houses are also latent, they are also sleeping. The very houses seem asleep, and all that mighty heart is lying still. What a beautiful phrase, mighty heart. What does that mean? Mighty means strong. Might means power. Mighty heart. What can be the mighty heart of Europe? Of course, London. The mighty heart is lying still. The heart, which is the pumping organ of the human organism, if that lies still, obviously the entire organism will die forever. There will be no more existence of that life. So if London lies still, the entire continent also lies still. And early in the morning, Wordsworth visualizes the entire continent to lie still, because the heart of the continent, the mighty, powerful, socio-economic epicenter of Europe is lying still. So, what a deep and profound feeling. I hope you like the poem, children, and since it is a one-way lecture, I can't receive many queries, but I will expect you to question me so that I can
ইতিমধ্যে একজন
answer.
ফোনও করেছে, এক
বাহ, খুব
দর্শক
ভালো।
রয়েছে ক্লাস 11 এর বন্ধুপ্রিয় গাঙ্গুলি। বন্ধুপ্রিয়, নিশ্চয়ই শুনতে পাচ্ছ তুমি, বলো কি তোমার কোয়ারি রয়েছে?
Madam, I am Bondhupriya from class 11. I want to know what is the central idea and critical estimate from the poem Upon the Westminster Bridge. Thank you.
Okay, my dear student, let me tell you one thing. Central idea, I'm telling you just now, and critical estimate is something different. Central idea means the main theme, the central theme of the poem. And what is the central theme of the poem? It talks about the beauty of dawn early in the morning, or the beauty of dawn in London as experienced by William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth early in the morning had experienced the tranquility. I'm repeating the word for you, my dear. Tranquility. Tranquility means peacefulness or calmness. So, the poet here experiences the tranquility which he had never ever experienced before. This is the central theme.
আরো একজন ছাত্র রয়েছে আমাদের সঙ্গে, বলো কে বলছো? হ্যালো
হ্যালো,
হ্যাঁ বলো কে বলছো?
আমি হ্যালো, আমি রেক কুমার রায় বলছি। আমি ক্লাস 10 এ পড়ি আসলে।
আচ্ছা,
অ্যাকচুয়ালি এই ক্লাস 10 এ মানে মাধ্যমিক দিয়েছো তুমি?
না, আমি দেব আই মিন
ও পড়ছে।
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা, অ্যাকচুয়ালি এই মুহূর্তে আমরা ক্লাস 11 নিয়ে আলোচনা করছি। ক্লাস 10 এ আলোচনা আপাতত হয়ে গিয়েছে।
আচ্ছা, আমি খুব ভেরি সরি, আমি ঠিক প্রথম থেকে তো দেখিনি, আমি এখান থেকে এখন দেখছি, তো আমি ঠিক
ওকে ওকে, থ্যাংক ইউ ফর কলিং। আমি ম্যাম আপনার কাছে আরেকটা বিষয় একটু জানতে চাইবো, এবং এই পোয়েমটা পড়ার জন্য আপনি আগেও যেটা ক্লাস 10 এর জন্য পড়লেন এবং তাদের ছাত্রছাত্রীদের সিলেবাসেও রয়েছে, আমার মনে হয় এই সময়টা, আমি বলছি লকডাউন পিরিয়ডটা ইজ দ্য রাইট টাইম ফর to read this poem, because one can
feel the tranquility.
Okay, I'm just try to say that the situation is the same, I think. এবং যেটা আপনি বলছেন ট্র্যাঙ্কুইলিটি, যদি আমি খুব ভুল না বুঝি, আমার মনে হয় উনি বলতে চাইছেন বোধহয় যে ঘুম পাড়িয়ে দিয়েছে কেউ, মনে হচ্ছে।
হ্যাঁ, ওই দ্য ভেরি হাউসেস সিম অ্যাসলিপ, বাড়িগুলোই মনে হচ্ছে এখনো সুপ্ত।
একদম।
সুতরাং আজকে যখন আপনাদের স্টুডিওতে আসছিলাম এই পুরো রাস্তাটা দিয়ে, আমার অনেকটা ওরকম ফিলিং হচ্ছিল, যদিও এটা দুপুরবেলা।
আমিও তখন সেই ফিলটাই পাচ্ছি যে এই সময়টাই তো আমরা এখন যেটা ফিল করছি আর কি, যে রাস্তাঘাট ফাঁকা, গাড়ি চলছে না, সকালবেলায়। ঈশা রায় আরেকজন ছাত্রী রয়েছে।
ঈশা, আচ্ছা
বলো কি কোয়ারি তোমার?
আমার ছিল যে ডিয়ার গড, দ্য ভেরি হাউসেস ইন অ্যাসলিপ, এটার ইনার মিনিং।
ডিয়ার গড, দ্য ভেরি হাউসেস, আমি এক্ষুনি স্যারের সাথে কথা বলছিলাম। ঈশা, তুমি শুনেছো বোধহয়, আবার রিপিট করছি। ডিয়ার গড, এটার মধ্যে একটুখানি আমরা একটু লিটারেচারে চলে যাব। This is actually a figure of speech. এটাকে আমরা বলি apostrophe, an address. The poet is addressing God. So dear God is an address to God. It is not a prayer, it is an address to God. The address comes from the sense of surprise, from bewilderment. Okay, so he is addressing God and he is bewildered. Why is he surprised? Because he can see the very houses to be asleep, to be passive, to be inactive early in the morning. This brings about the sense of surprise. Okay.
নিঃসন্দেহে আমাদের আজকের অনুষ্ঠান শেষ করতে হবে। ম্যাম, অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ। আমার মনে হয় যে সমস্ত পড়ুয়ারা, ছাত্রছাত্রীরা ক্লাস 10 এবং 11-এর তারা আমাদের আজকের এই অনুষ্ঠান দেখলে নিঃসন্দেহে কোথাও না কোথাও কি কিছুটা হলেও উপকার হয়েছে, তাদের পাশে থাকার চেষ্টা করব আমরা আগামী দিনগুলোতেও। ম্যাম, অসংখ্য ধন্যবাদ আপনাকে। এবং নিঃসন্দেহে কম্পোজ আপন ওয়েস্টমিনস্টার যে পোয়েমটি আপনি পড়ে শোনালেন, আমার মনে হয় যে এই পোয়েমটা এক্ষুনি যদি তোমরা পড়ে নাও এবং যদি সকালে উঠে শহর কলকাতাতে দাঁড়িয়ে এই পরিবেশ বোধহয় তুমিও উপলব্ধি করতে পারবে এবং কোথাও গিয়ে পড়াটাও বোধহয় একটু সহজ হয়ে যাবে। ম্যাম, আপাতত অনেক ধন্যবাদ আপনাকে আমাদের সময় দেওয়ার জন্য। ধন্যবাদ আপনাদেরকেও নিঃসন্দেহে এই অনুষ্ঠান দেখার জন্য। এবং নিঃসন্দেহে আমরা প্রত্যেক মুহূর্তের করোনা পরিস্থিতির আপডেট যেমন আপনাদের সামনে তুলে ধরছি, তেমনই যে সমস্ত পড়ুয়ারা এই সময় গৃহবন্দী হয়ে রয়েছে, ঘরবন্দী হয়ে রয়েছে, স্কুল, কলেজ, মাঠ কিংবা পড়ার কোচিং সেন্টারে যেতে পারছে না, তাদের পাশে থাকার জন্যই আমাদের এই অনুষ্ঠান ক্লাসরুম। প্রত্যেক দিন নজর রাখুন বাংলা ভারতের পর্দায়।
खेलने के लिए हो जाओ तैयार, लाखों जीतेगा अब सारा परिवार। खेलिए जल्दी 5 कॉर्नर्स, लाइंस या फुल हाउस पर दांव लगाओ, नंबर के साथ सही जवाब बताओ। आ गया है इंडिया का सबसे फेवरेट फैमिली गेम हाउसी क्विज। खेल वही, अंदाज नया। करें ऐप डाउनलोड और खेलें रोज लाइव रात 8 बजे। हाउसी क्विज, जीतो